Hello, hello. I'm on a minute early tonight. I got my internet fixed out, y'all. Look at that. Woo woo. I got it. So I figured it out. It's Safari versus Chrome. That was the issue. I was always trying to get on Safari, and I was just reading some stuff on the internet, and it was saying that Safari doesn't do so hot with the live streams. So I connected to Chrome, and voila, here we are. So we'll give everybody a few minutes to get on. I'm a little early. There's somebody here. Who's out there? We got a couple people on here. Let me know who's on the live. I'm glad you guys are here hanging out with me on Friday night. It's Friday. The week's over. Are you guys excited? I know I am. It's been a long week. So what's up, everybody? We've got, let's see here. Miss Valerie, hello. Hey, Jason. Bama Outdoors, my friend Jason. Oop, I've got a mosquito in here, dang it. He's coming after my drink. How's it going, guys? Yeah, cheers, Jason. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Eddie, you got a new piglet? What? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm about to kill this mosquito real quick. They are so bad. We have gotten just torrential downpours here in Virginia. And I'm talking like flooding rain. You should see the pig pen right now. They're swimming, basically. Joe's like, we're going to have to bring in some dirt and fill it in. But the pigs, they love it. I mean, it's hot and they love rolling around in the mud. So they don't really care. It's me. I'm like, shouldn't they have somewhere warm to sleep? I mean, they've got a couple dry areas. Don't get me wrong. But what kind of piglet did you get, Eddie? Is it for food or for a pet? Hi, Max. Oh, Germany. Max, you're from Germany. That's awesome. Thanks for joining me tonight all the way from Germany. That makes me feel so special when I get people from all over the world hanging out with me on a Friday night. Shell, I watched your video about the cabin in Alaska. It's gorgeous. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm ready to go back already. Like I said in that video, Joe had to drag me out kicking and screaming. I did not want to go. It was probably like a 10-hour flight. All together, we had a couple legs in that flight. And on the way there, it doesn't matter because you're so excited. It's like you would fly however long to get there. But on the way back, you're like, man, do I really have to go back to Virginia? I wanted to stay. So that flight seemed much longer. Eddie, too much mud, they'll not be able to sweat. Yeah, I've read that too, Eddie. Thank you. Can't remember. Okay, can't remember what kind. That's cool. No worries. It's the one with the black stripe across its shoulders. I don't know what kind of pig that is. I'm mostly familiar with the American guinea hogs, and obviously we've got the Berkshire breed now, but I've seen the ones that you're talking about, Eddie, but I don't know what they're called. Are you going to be raising them for meat, or are you guys just keeping them to hang out? So yeah, the cabin, that was really fun, you guys. And Joe, like I said on my Get It All Done With Me video, we've been super busy, like cleaning out closets. And it's funny, we were joking the other day and we're like, why are we doing all this right now? We still have like a year before we head up there. So, but it's like, we've got a lot to go through. We just like accumulate tons of stuff, and we've got a garage and a shop. So Joe is kind of like the hoarding type, but in a good way. I guess that a good homesteader is, right? Because you can always reuse things later on, but we're like, we got to get rid of some of this stuff because going all the way to Alaska, that's a big trip. Yes. Thank you, Jason. If you guys could hit the like button for me, I would really appreciate that. That helps out with.
Whoa, what's going on? Am I late?
All right. Joe just busted in the door. Surprise. All right. And he knocked down my light. Wow. This is a surprise to me too. I didn't know he was going to be here tonight. You always have to make a grand entrance, don't you? Oh my gosh. Let me scoot over. What's funny is he's a quiet kind of guy. As you guys can see from the videos, someone asked me today, is Joe camera shy? Well, apparently not. He feels the need to make a grand entrance. Let me catch up here. Where am I at? Neat and to sell. Awesome, Eddie. That's great. We You guys know we got 2 pigs, and Joe and I were talking the other day, and we're like, man, we might have to find a homesteading friend to share one of the pigs with, because we've only got a year left, and I don't know if we can eat all that meat in 1 year. We've got a whole freezer full of beef. We've got a whole freezer full of home-raised chickens, so that's a lot of meat, but we'll see. It's the one with the black stripe. Oh, I read that one. Let's see. Jen's like, hey, greetings from Europe. Oh my gosh, I love it. We've got people from Germany. We've got people from Europe. Is Germany in Europe? You can be homeschooling mom too. I can't remember. They're close. I know that. Okay. So just give me credit there. They're close. I know that. You have great videos. Thank you. I appreciate that, you guys. I really do. I've been doing a lot of cooking videos because the garden's been exploding with, cucumbers and zucchini and all kinds of good stuff. Tonight, I actually recorded a zucchini soup, super easy, like crazy easy, with some fresh French bread that I made into garlic bread. So that's going to be going live here soon. If you guys have a lot of zucchini, when you plant zucchini, you usually have too much zucchini, right? It's one of those plants you just get way more than you need. So this is an awesome recipe to kind of use it all up. They constantly have fresh water. Eddie, what are you saying? So they constantly have fresh water.
So they put them against the edge of the pond.
Oh.
I can barely read it.
I moved my pen. That's a good idea. Yeah. We were hoping to have water in our forever homestead for that very reason. Not only that, if we go on trips, which we plan on doing when we get to Alaska, camping, just loading up the Polaris and going hunting, camping, fishing, it's nice to have a homestead that is self-sustaining, even for a couple to a few days, so you can get away and not have to worry about a farm sitter, which we've done farm sitters before, but that can get expensive. Jason says, hi, Joe. Nice to meet you, sir.
What's up, Jason?
Joe wears glasses, so he can't see the comments. I wear glasses too, but I actually wear contacts. I cannot stand having something sitting on my face. So you'll see Joe kind of squinting, trying to see that. So Jason has been with us from the beginning. He helps me moderate comments and stuff. He's the one with the bees. Remember that? Joe was checking out your videos, Jason. Eddie, you're from Oklahoma. All right. Jen's wine. I do not raise rabbits. So that is something that we've talked about getting into. My brother raised rabbits. My mom raised rabbits. You guys have heard my funny stories about my mom. But I've never gotten into it, but I have eaten a lot of rabbit, and rabbit is delicious. It's, you guys that eat rabbit, it's a very lean, clean meat. They're very easy to raise, but at this time we do not have rabbits. Do you? Do you raise rabbits? Angela, hey, Angela. I had to reload and miss the start. Oh, you didn't miss much. We were just getting started. Joe made a grand entrance and surprised me and decided to be here with me tonight. I actually quit asking him, to be honest. I've learned about what a gentle nudge is and then what nagging is. If you guys listen to my podcast, I talk about that a lot. So I just did the gentle nudge and then decided to let him make up his own mind. Horses drink out of the pond also. That's awesome, Eddie. That makes it super easy for sure. Angela says, hi, Joe. Angela, you've been around here with us for a long time too. So I'm really excited that Joe's here with me tonight. We've been doing some work on the Polaris Ranger. I posted on my Instagram stories. We bought a Polaris Ranger for Alaska. Kind of like that utility vehicle, and just romping out, going out and loading up the dogs and Parker. And so we've been working on doing some upgrades to the Polaris to make it more Alaska ready. And we're going to do a video on that. I've been taking some video shots of what we've been doing for that. I mean, it's got I don't know, Joe raised it. We put a winch on it. It's got a chainsaw holder. I think we got gun mounts. We put a heater in it. Did you put the heater in yet?
Yeah, it's in the process.
In the process. Okay. So, but really fun. So for all my guy subscribers, you'll like that one.
And a snowplow.
Oh yeah. And a snowplow for sure. If you watch the cabin video, you'll see that big long dirt road that leads to the cabin is not city maintained. We thought it was, but we talked to the owner and it's not city maintained. So we need to be able to clear that and be able to get to the main road for, grocery shopping and doctor's appointments and things like that. So yeah, what else did we do to it? I think that was it for now, right? But it's cool. It's got the dual cab, which I didn't want a dual cab originally. But I'm glad that we got the dual cab because I'm thinking of like if we go camping and things like that, we can just load up that back seat and there's room for the dogs and stuff too. So yeah. I did take down some questions that I got this time to go over some stuff with you guys, but please, by all means, feel free to chat with me as we go and ask questions or whatever. And don't forget to hit the like button for me. I'm super excited. We are almost at 15,000 subscribers, and I'm so humbly grateful. You guys know me, like I've talked about it before. I did not start this channel to do anything amazing at all. Like we just started it 3 years ago at the old farm, just as a hobby, really, but to capture memories of everything that we were doing on the homestead. And when we're long gone, the kids can look back on all these videos. One thing I've noticed with the era of technology is we don't have pictures anymore, right? Like we don't print our photos. We don't have albums to flip through. I love flipping through photo albums. Joe and I, remember my picture of the office when it looked like a bomb went off? We were going through our big Tupperware of back in the day when we used to actually print photographs. And it's just so fun to look back at those in a photo album versus like, hey, let's hook up the hard drive and sit around the computer. I mean, who wants to do that? So, I mean, I guess you're still sitting around the computer if you're watching videos, but it was just a way for me to kind of record our life. Hi, Alex. Thank you. I hope you have a nice day too. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, you guys let me know where you're from if you haven't already, because I really like to see where everybody's from. I think that is so exciting that we can kind of connect here in the cyber world from everywhere. It's pretty neat. So I was going to go through some of these questions that I got. Just no particular order, just bouncing around on some of the different videos. So this one is about the cabin in Alaska. For those of you that don't know, or maybe you missed it, Joe is retiring in a year, and we've been considering where we want to have our forever homestead be. We never intended on staying in Virginia. We're in Virginia because the military brought us here. So we've been here for, I don't know, 7, 8 years, something like that. Mm-hmm. We've been lucky to be in the same spot for so long because you guys know that doesn't always happen. So it's been really good for the kids and everything. But we knew that this was not our forever home. And there were several states that were contenders. I've talked to you guys about this before. We were looking for good homeschool laws, just good conservative values, to be surrounded by like-minded people, especially in this lovely culture that we're living in today. So we made the decision, and we made that step to get this cabin in Alaska. Right now it is off grid. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do with that. In the video, I had talked to you guys about solar. We got an estimate on what it was going to cost us to have it completely powered by solar. But then we are also getting an estimate from the electric company to see what it would cost to bring power out to the property. It's pretty pushed out there, which I love. Like, you go one direction and you're about an hour from like civilization, which is nice for hospitals, doctors, dentist appointments, things like that. But then if you go the other direction, there's nothing. Like, as far as your eye can see, I mean, you can go to Google Earth and just drag the map and keep dragging it. And there's nothing out there except for the bears and the moose. And I love that. So this question, not really a question. They were asking about, Jason, thank you so much. Cheers, my friend. He said, next drink is on. I appreciate that. $10. Oh my gosh, thank you. Super cool. Thanks, Jason. Gotta love those super chats. I appreciate it. They asked about the square footage of the cabin. So it's small. It's like really small, and it's like really small. But the thing is, you guys, some of you homesteaders can relate to this. So in the last, I'd say 6 or 7 years, we've moved 3 different times, not because of the military. The military brought us to Virginia, and then we've moved, 2 more times since they brought us here. We went and bought the farm. We had that for a couple years, and then we sold the big 18-acre farm that we had, and we downsized and bought this 1-acre property that we're on now. But I noticed every time we moved, we got a smaller house every time. And you guys, the first house we got when we moved to Virginia, it was ridiculous. It was like 26 to 2,800 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a huge pool in the backyard. I'm talking big pool that we never used. That was just, oh, this mosquito, just this huge expense for us. And it was like more to clean, wasted space, higher electric bills. I mean, so when we got the farmhouse, we downsized a bit, but even that was still big. And then we got this house, which is even smaller than the farmhouse. And I love that it's a 1-story. I don't have to climb stairs to get to my bedroom anymore. So the cabin is 600. It's just under 600 square feet, actually. Let me see what Valerie says. I still have a bunch of photo albums that my parents started. I love the memories in Southern California. Okay. Yeah, Valerie, I can't remember if you were when I talked to you last time, but I'm a California girl. I was actually born and raised in Southern California. But yeah, we have old memories of photo albums, you guys. I mean, some of the pictures, we used to have those old, what are they called? The cameras? The disposable. Yeah, the disposable ones. And Joe had this one camera that he would just catch these dumb pictures of me. Like I'd be folding laundry and he'd be like, "Hey, Tina." And I'd be like, "Huh?" And he would snap a shot. You guys, it's like this whole roll of crazy, ugly, terrifying photos of me. But now we look back at it and it's so funny to look at. And when we brought Lexi home from the hospital, I was 19. I feel like that was like eons ago. But looking back at those photos, it's just different when you look at like real pictures versus like something that's digital. So yeah, the cabin is just under 600 square feet. And, you guys saw the video. Some of you might not have. It's just what we need. And that's it. Like it's got a little master bedroom. It's got 1 bath. It's got a little kitchen. And it's got a living room that's kind of long ways. That's just big enough for like a little dining room table and a very small living room set. And then you go upstairs to the loft, and the loft is going to be Parker's bedroom. So that's it. And it's got a front deck on it. It's got a front deck overlooking the beautiful 15 acres that it sits on with the pond. So to me, I was just cleaning the house last week, the whole house here in Virginia. And I'm like, this is for the birds. Like we have 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms in this house. And it's a lot to clean. Like, can I just get 1 toilet? I'm good with just 1 toilet, 1 kitchen to clean. So I'm actually really excited about less square footage. How do you feel about it, Joe? You're just talking so much that I think that you need to stop interrupting me. It's rude, Joe. Okay.
This is my first one. I'm supposed to see what happens.
Oh, okay. Just checking it out. Okay. Yeah. He's just getting his feet wet. No worries. No pressure. I had a couple comments about the cabin underneath of the cabin. So the owner bought the land and had the cabin built just as a vacation home. So him and his family were only out there like 2 or 3 times a year. So it was not like a all the time cabin, which is partially why it's off grid. They just ran it on a generator. But the underneath of the cabin is not winterized, as in it does not have pipe insulation. It doesn't have skirting around the bottom of the cabin. But that's because he would winterize the cabin for winter, and then they wouldn't go out there until the warmer months. So that's one of our first projects. We are going to be going up to the cabin next spring-ish summer, and we're going to probably spend a good couple to a few weeks out there getting all of that insulated and where it can like withstand the winters, because we will be living in it full time. So Angela, little kitchen, that's roughing it. How do you do food storage, pantry, cellar? Yeah, so that's a really good question, Angela. And the area that could have been used for a pantry, I don't know if you guys remember from the video, is where we're going to be putting our washer and dryer. So right now the cabin doesn't have a laundry room at all. That's one of the first things I noticed. I'm like, I'm all for being a homesteader, but I can't do like the Ma Ingalls and go down to the creek with the washboard. Like we just have way too much laundry. I could do a clothesline. We did that when I was a kid. My mom didn't have a dryer for part of my life growing up, but So there's a cutout under the stairs that leads up to Parker's bedroom, as you could imagine. And we found a stackable washer and dryer that is like the perfect measurements that's going to slide right into that space. So we'll have a way to wash our laundry. I can do something cute, a pretty little curtain to kind of cover up that space or something. But that could have been our pantry, Angela, but now it's going to be the laundry room. So careful. Lexi's coming in. What's up?
I wanted to come say hello.
Oh,
Well, come on in. Let's get the whole Watson family up in her. You had to move my light, though.
Just push it. It'll fall over.
Yeah, Dad knows. He just barged in here and made a grand entrance. Yep, put your hand right there. Okay. Lexi's coming in to say hey.
Is the lighting good?
Nope, that kind of makes me look like I'm in Hawaii. Can you move it back just a little bit there? Yeah, okay.
What's wrong with Hawaii?
Nothing's wrong with Hawaii. Here's Lexi. Oh, she just wants to show you her new haircut. That's all this is. Mm-hmm. And there's the dog. Okay, let's shut the door. Okay. She just wants to show you guys her new haircut. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at
Cute
it.
little A-frame. Let's ask everybody on the channel.
They can't even see it.
They can see. Can you guys see Lexi? You guys can see Lexi, right? Is the lighting good? Angela says, hey. Jason
No.
says, hey, Alexis.
Hey.
You can't tell.
You can't tell as much. I know. All right, you guys, question. You guys give an answer. Don't think about it. Just tell me your first thought that comes to mind, okay? You are so ghetto.
No,
What
you still can't.
color is Lexi's hair?
They're gonna say brown. It looks brown. It's
Okay.
not brown.
Yeah, I guess the light's kind of messing it up.
You look.
Yeah, babe. Okay. This is how homesteaders do things around here. Hey, Sean. There's Sean.
Hey, thank you.
What color is her hair, you guys? Just one person tell me what color you think her hair is. And then I'm going to tell you. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is, Valerie. You know it, girl. That's right. Don't know where it came from. Well, actually, I lie. I have like 30% Scottish in me. And apparently Joe has, 9%? I think.
Mm-hmm.
We did ancestry DNA. So now the government has our DNA. But yeah, so maybe that's where she gets the red hair from. I don't know. I was a towhead blonde. Joe was a towhead blonde and Parker was, but he's
I
even
was
starting.
too, though.
Yeah, she was too. Like bleach blonde growing up. And all of a sudden it's completely turning red and she doesn't like it. And I think it looks beautiful.
Strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde. Yeah.
Mhm.
Jason says slight red tint. See, Jason hooked you up. He said it's slight.
Yeah, I'll give him the slight.
Yeah. All right. Are you leaving?
Yeah.
Okay. Be careful.
Okay,
It's a crazy world we're living in now.
Yeah.
All right. Be the light.
of course.
Be the salt and light. Mama loves you.
Toodles.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's close the door so the dogs don't come in. Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. What were we talking about?
Oh, where's she going?
She's going to her friend's house. All right. So we were talking about the pantry. So, yeah, the pantry is now the laundry room at the Alaska cabin. So we're going to get like crazy with some videos, you guys. The cabin is up on a bluff, which is awesome. So I think that we're going to definitely be doing something like a cellar, maybe even purchase a Connex and do the whole underground Connex. I don't know for sure, but I need something. And we're going to have a shop built out there. There's no garage or anything. And Joe is a mechanic. And as you guys know, he's a handy kind of guy with all of his hammers. So we're going to have to do something for food storage. For now, I don't know. I really don't know what we're going to do. Because I'm taking all my stuff with me. I mean, if I have canned goods that I've canned and preserved, it's going up with me. So I'm going to have to figure that out very quickly. Angela, my daughter turned ginger. It's almost the same color as Lexi. She was a blonde toddler. Yeah. Same with Lex. It just it was like overnight. It started. I think it's beautiful though. And she's got little highlights of blonde in there. So she's tried to dye it several times and I won't let her. But now, she's 19, so she's a grown up and I can't tell her what to do, apparently. That's been fun. Does anybody else out there have adult children living in their home? That's been fun. I just keep my wine subscription coming. All right, enough of that. Let's see. So, yeah. All right, the next one was talking about the growing season in Alaska. Sean, nope, she says. So yes, the growing season is shorter in Alaska. And in this area that we're going to, I haven't lived there. Like I told you guys before, we lived in Fairbanks, Alaska, and we've lived in Ketchikan, Alaska, which are two very different climates. But, you know, I would say a good 3 months or so, but we're going to be doing either a nice big high tunnel or a big greenhouse, something, because that will help extend the growing season. Because we definitely don't have the growing season there that we have here in Virginia. So we're going to have to take that into account, get things into the ground right away so that we can maximize the growing time that they have. Someone asked me what the dimensions of the Alaska cabin were. And it's about 20 by 30, right, Joe? That's kind of what we came up with.
Sure.
Yeah. So, because we had estimated all of the bedrooms, so I could decide and figure out what furniture we could and couldn't bring, which isn't much, you guys. Oh my gosh. That's the other thing when you buy big houses that you don't really need. You don't have the furniture to fill them. So you have to go buy all this furniture just to fill a room that you're never going to use. So we have a lot of furniture that we're going to have to get rid of because it won't even fit in there. There's no way. Somebody asked me if Lexi is staying in Virginia when we go to Alaska. So my mama heart is sad. She is not coming with us as of right now. She is not coming with us to Alaska, but she's also not staying here in Virginia either. Lexi is moving to California. Mm-hmm. She's moving there with a good friend of hers from elementary school. What? Oh, I thought you giggled. So yeah, she's actually going before we leave. She's leaving in September. So, you know, it's been that whole interesting dynamic of an adult child living in your home. Me and Lexi have butt heads a little bit. I mean, we're both women. So I think that that's natural for her and I to butt heads more than maybe her and Joe. Joe's more of a quiet guy, obviously. He's very supportive and he does get crazy when he has to, but I'm the one that's just kind of like, no, that's not right. No, you're not doing that. Like, and it's been just kind of an interesting dynamic with that. So I think Lexi's feeling the need to go and spread her wings and try some things out on her own, which honestly, you guys, I think is probably best right now. There are some things that she's going to have to learn the hard way. And I could tell her all freaking day long, and it's literally going in one ear and out the other because I'm her mom. It's like, okay. She doesn't listen to me anymore. So she's going to have to learn the hard way. Eddie, supplemental light and a greenhouse. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. And you can grow year round. Yeah. So you think so, Eddie, even with the temperatures, huh? I don't know. I mean, definitely the lighting, especially in Alaska, because it's not as sunny as it is here in Virginia. A lot of it's overcast. You do get those beautiful summer days. They just had like a heat wave of like 80 degrees for a few days. But I don't know if the plants would do well in the temperatures.
Might be able to put a heater in there.
You think so?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll have Joe rig something up. Always having Joe rig stuff up. Somebody asked me why we sold our farm, the 18-acre farm here in Virginia. So, you know, just short answer is we did a lot all at once. Like, that's kind of my personality, though. Like, when I want something, I just like jump like both feet in at the same time. And Joe he tries to rein me in, but it doesn't work very well, does it, Joe? He just
You bring the stuff home, and then I have to deal with making it a house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, Joe, I got a sheep in the back of the truck. I need a shelter. And he goes out and builds a shelter. Or I'm going to start milking a sheep. I need a milk stand. So that was kind of, you know, we got pretty much every farm animal you can think of. You know, we had cows. I was milking a dairy cow every day. I miss my Gracie girl. Pigs, chickens, sheep. We even got 2 horses, ducks. I mean, everything you could think of. And Joe is still in the military working full time. So that kind of left me to deal with everything 5 days a week on top of my business, on top of homeschooling Parker. And then you guys as homesteaders know, you come home and the cow broke the fence, or the chicken needs to be put down because she's half dead because a hawk ate her, but didn't eat her all the way. Like, and then Joe has to go out and deal with all these things after working a full day at work. So it was a lot. And then another reason we sold is we realized that the equity that we had built up in the farm in a really, really short amount of time was a lot. And it was enough so that if we sold, we could actually pay off the debt that we had since we were in high school. You guys know when you're young and you're starting out, you don't realize credit cards, all that stuff. We got married in high school. I was 17. So it was like, I got a card and I could just swipe it and it will pay for that, you know? And we built up a lot of debt. And anyway, when we sold the farm, we were able to pay off all of the debt. And I couldn't turn that down. You're a slave when you're in debt, and you cannot be free to live the way you want to live. And I just so desperately wanted to be out from underneath that. So those two reasons, we were a little overwhelmed. We took on too much at once with Joe still working full time. And then the fact that we were able to get out of debt was a big reason too. Eddie, he says, that's why we only have one piglet. Smart man. Yeah, smart. He says, we still haven't built a furrowing area yet.
That you can assume he's a man.
Stop.
I'm just saying it's against like.
Okay, baby, this
policies.
This is why you can't be on the live streams. Did you guys hear him? I hope you didn't hear him. You know, I don't even care because I feel the same way. I'm just trying to be nice. Eddie, I hope you're a man. I assumed you're a man. Oh my gosh, Joe, you just had to freaking go there, didn't you? Now my armpits are sweating. I'm always talking about my armpits sweat. You guys, I do have good deodorant, okay? I'm just saying. But anyway, yeah. Sow and Piglet are in a chicken yard under tarps. Well, sometimes, Eddie, you just got to make do with what you got, right? I mean, Lord knows we've been there how many times.
We've had pallet tarp shelters.
Pallet tarp shelters. Our first year with our cows. Y'all, we got cows, Jersey cows. I'm like, I want a dairy cow. Let's get a bull. We can mate her with the bull. I mean, we went and got all these cows. We didn't have no shelters built, nothing. And they lived in like this pallet tarp shelter. And it was so funny because the steer that we had and the bull that we had almost couldn't even stand up in it by the time we got their permanent shelter built. So you just do what you got to do, right? I mean, it is what it is. As long as they're out of the elements, which a lot of times the animals don't really care about the elements. When it's downpouring here in Virginia, that's when, do you want to go see who that is? That's when the chickens, are out trying to get the worms out of the ground. The pigs love it. They're rolling around in the rain, so they don't even really care as much about the elements. I think it's us humans that are like, oh, I need to be out of the rain. I mean, they do need shelter. Don't get me wrong. We've got tornadoes here. If you're living in a place that's got crazy winters, yeah, it's good for them to have a place to get out of it. Trial under fire. That's right, Eddie. Sometimes the best things come out of that, right? I mean, and that's what we're good at. You just kind of make it happen. I'm curious to see who's at the door. We actually have something interesting going on with somebody that lives in our neighborhood. I don't know who this guy is, but he blows up and down our street sometimes at 80, 85 miles an hour. Parker's out there riding his bike. The kids are out there on their skateboards playing, and he's just an idiot. And Joe whistled really loud one day for him to slow down. He screeched, slammed on his brakes and screeched around the bend and stopped and started cussing Joe out, telling him, don't tell me how to effing drive. And I'm thinking, well, if you would drive right, we wouldn't have to. But for 2 weeks since that day, this guy is blowing even faster by the house. And then he revs his engine, which is really loud. He's got like a muffler or something on there. All hours of the night, you guys, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you name it. It's actually woken me up out of a dead sleep. That's how loud it is. So we don't get visitors out here. So I'm kind of curious who was knocking on the door. Yeah, Eddie, the ducks. Oh, they're so funny. The ducks love the rain. They are hilarious. for sure. I'm excited to get some more ducks when we get to Alaska because we've got the pond. We've tried to do some makeshift ponds on the homesteads, and it's, I don't know what that was. Sorry, I'm paranoid. Who was it? Huh?
Amazon.
Oh, Amazon? Since when did they knock? Okay, just making sure it wasn't old crazy dude.
Hey.
So yeah. Sean, I'm serious, girl. I'm on edge. I'm not even playing. It's just one of those things. Like, especially in this day and age, we got people that are going to be coming to the door trying to get us to take the big V if we haven't already. I'm like, don't come to my door. You don't want to come to my door. Yeah, crazy drivers, Valerie. They're just like, it's ridiculous. It's dangerous, and there's really no need for it. I wouldn't care if it wasn't for the kids. You know, it's someone's going to get hurt. So we've been recording him, and I finally turned him into the police. So I don't know. You know how that could go. It could go one of two ways. Either he'll get the hint and he'll stop, or he's going to retaliate and start vandalizing the cars, and then the crazy's going to have to come out. They chase the water when I'm filling up their pool and water hose. He's talking about ducks. They're so
Those are cars
funny.
on the farm.
Yeah. They really like the water. So it's funny. You guys, you know how, I don't know if I want to tell this story.
What?
The ducks mating in Parker.
Oh.
So you know how the ducks mate in the water? I mean, that's been our experience, is they prefer to mate in the water. And Parker's always asking, like, Mom, why do they do that? You know, and they're so dramatic about it. It's like, if you don't want to have the sex talk with your children, just go get a homestead, because they're going to see it all. And they get so excited. And when they're done, you know, the male falls over, like he's having like a seizure, and then they run around the pond, and they're just so dramatic. And I don't know, one day Parker was talking about the ducks mating and how they're so loud. And he's like, yeah, Mom, they're like, rah, rah, rah. So one day we come out of the bedroom, and we were legitimately just talking. Okay. We weren't, you know, like the normal excuses, we're wrapping Christmas presents. No, Joe and I were legitimately talking in the bedroom with the door shut, and we come out, and Parker starts quacking like a duck and asking us if we were in there mating. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I'm falling behind on comments. I'm sorry. I know, Sean, when does Amazon knock? They don't knock. They just come drop a package and then take a picture of it. They won't even hand it to me because they have to take a picture of it. So Angela, DOJ came knocking, saw somebody on January 6th who looked like you. Yeah, Angela, you probably did, girl. You know, I was there. I was there for the peaceful part of the rally. And then when we started smelling pepper spray, we were like, we need to go. Like, this is going to get dangerous, not somewhere we need to be. I've been pepper sprayed. I've been in the gas chamber when I was in the Army, and I ain't trying to do that again. So we rolled out. But yeah, I don't know. I freak out. Lexi got subpoenaed one day because she witnessed somebody getting in an accident, and I got a knock on the door, and I looked out the window, and there was cops in the driveway, and I'm just like, my heart's pounding. Like, I'm so on edge with everything that's going on in our world today. I just don't understand. Jason's laughing. Oh my goodness, you guys. I don't know. You know, Joe is a year out from retirement, and I'll be careful what I say, because as you guys know, I've already had one video deleted by YouTube because they're just censoring a lot of like the conservative content. But it is a real fear, all this talk about mandating the big V. Okay. And you know, the military is going to be one of the first ones to do it. They already mandate all these vaccines. When we join the military, you stand in line, you get like friggin' 80 shots in your arm. I'm exaggerating. It's not really 80, but it's a lot. And so, you know, our lovely president already said that he's talking to the Pentagon about getting the V mandated like the rest of them. So I don't know, you guys. I do know, actually. I'll tell you, Joe and I have talked long and hard about it, and we've prayed. I've prayed. I don't know if you've prayed, Joe, about God's will on that, but a retirement check is not worth it. And I'm sad because I feel like a lot of people are going to be pigeonholed into making that decision. He served almost 20 years. Like, he's given his whole life to the military, first the Army and then the Coast Guard. And he's gone to Iraq and he's spent many years underway on the boats. And to get this close to retirement and think that he may lose that because of some stupid mandate that doesn't make any sense, it makes me mad. It makes me really angry. But I told Joe, we'll make it. We don't need that retirement money. We will survive. We will make it because we always do. And God will make a way. So there is no way in hell that I'm going to let the government pigeonhole us into him getting this against his will, against his better judgment, against his desire, against his religion. There's no way. Not going to happen. Valerie says, so much for freedom of choice. Sean, people are cray cray. That's not come knocking on my door, just saying. Sean, you little firecracker, you. Yeah, freedom of choice, right, Valerie? That's like, whatever happened to my body, my choice. Where are those liberals at? I don't know. I guess that doesn't apply anymore in this scenario. I'll tell you guys what, they're gonna have to hold me down and put that in my arm before I ever take it. So it's experimental. It's already been proven to have some major side effects. There's even been deaths from it. And I'm a perfectly healthy individual. My whole family is. I am not going to risk our health or possibly our lives to get something for this virus that has a very high recovery rate. I'm just not going to do it. This whole time, this whole pandemic, we have not gotten it. And I know it's a real thing. I know there's people out there getting it, but none of us have gotten it. My 88-year-old grandfather lives with us, Joe, me, Lexi, who worked at Walmart the whole time last year, encountering hundreds and hundreds of people a day, touching money. I mean, not one of us have gotten it. So for something that is so bad, you would expect to see people dropping like flies. It's just, here's my thing. And I'll shut up. I could get heated about this, you guys. I think we are all right there with this crap because it's in our face, right? It's just all over the headlines, and it's scary because it should be scary. It should be freedom of choice. If you want to get it, go get it. If you don't want to get it, don't go get it. That's my thing. So we'll see what happens. But Patriot Nurse, if you guys have not looked at her channel, she's awesome. And she said something the other day that just stuck with me, and I'll say that and then I'll get off it. But she said principles, and I'm paraphrasing, principles are just principles unless they burn a little. And that's what I think of when I think of Joe and his situation with the military. We're so close to being at the end of this military career. And it's like, Lord, can we just get to the end? So he can get that retirement that he deserves, and we don't have to give that up. I'd love that. I don't know if that's going to happen though. Would it burn if he gave that up? Yeah, it would. And it would suck. It's not even just the money. It's the ability to have that title and to claim that. Like, I did it. I retired. I served my time. To take that from him a year before he gets it over something like this, it's just completely unacceptable. But sometimes you have to do the hard thing and you have to make hard choices. So anyway, Sharon, amen. Hey, Sharon, hi. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, Sean, he did earn it. He did. And I'm actually really proud of him because Joe is not a confrontational person. Like I said, unless you really tick him off, then the crazy will come out. So it was kind of like when they first started talking about this, I was like, you're not going to get it right. Like, you ain't going to do it right. Because I'm out. I got out in 2015. Like, come tell me to get a V, right? Come tell me. I'm not saying the words, you guys. I don't want my video to be deleted. But Joe, I didn't expect him to really stand up for himself with that. Just because he doesn't like to make waves. He doesn't, you know what I mean? He just wants to do his job and go home. But he's actually been very vocal already and made it very clear. I'm a year out from retirement, but it can be earlier if it has to be, because ain't nobody going to force me to get something in my arm. So I kind of like that, Joe. Thank y'all for your service. Thank you, Sean. My bestie. I appreciate that. Angela, my husband follows Patriot Nurse. She knows her stuff. Yeah, she does. She really does. It's kind of cool because she's a nurse. So when you're looking at craziness happening, you guys are all hearing it, right? Food shortages coming, things, all this stuff. Like, try not to be conspiracy theorists and getting like fear mongering. But the reality is things that we didn't think we would ever see are happening. So we have to keep that in mind. But she's a nurse. And so her channel is looking at things from that perspective. If shit hits the fan, these are the 3 medications that you need to make sure you have in your stash. Like, that's her channel, and I love it. And she is just so convicted about the things that she believes in. And I think that we need more of that in this country. I really do. And it's scary. It's hard to be different. But that's what we're called to do. That's what Jesus called us to be. I always tell Lexi when she goes somewhere, be the salt and the light. You guys heard me. She's always like, I know, Mom. I mean it. I mean it, especially in this day and age. Like, we got to be different. All right, Sean, you call me. I know. We need to go get lunch. I feel like I haven't seen you in like 25 years. Eddie says I went and got all their free money possible from the Big P agenda. I don't blame you, Eddie. I really don't. I mean, it's kind of crazy, the money that they're handing out left and right. I mean, it's like, it's causing people to be more dependent on the government versus independent. And that is kind of scary. And now they're talking about the tenants that haven't had to pay their rent in how long. But then did you guys see that headline? They got tenants not paying rent, but they're out buying boats. What about the landowner? What about the homeowner that still has a mortgage? How is it fair for the homeowner to still be responsible for their mortgage, or they're going to foreclose, but the tenant can live there for free? And then you got Biden over here talking about paying their utility bills now. It's like, well, dang, they don't need to go. Why would they ever need to get a job again? It's like, that is a scary place to be, being dependent on the government to take care of you. You guys, I'm not even kidding you. These nails can come off real quick. The eyeshadow, the eyebrows, it can all come off real quick. And I'll go live in the woods with the bears and hunt and fish and live off the land. I am not scared. I'm not going to live off the government and be pigeonholed into all this crazy. And I'm just not going to do it. So as homesteaders, I mean, this is a homesteading channel. You got to know how to put a seed in the ground and make a vegetable. Get you a sourdough starter going so that you can always make bread and bagels, and you don't need that store-bought yeast. Get you a little grain mill so you can invest in the big 50-pound bags of wheat berries and grind your own flour. It's really not that hard. I was thinking about it tonight. I fed my milk kefir grains. And so you got your own dairy animal, sheep, cow, goat, whatever. Use your kefir grains as your culture. You've got sour cream, you've got cheese, yogurt. Just finding those things that will help you be more self-sufficient so that if shit hits the fan, you might stand a better chance. Angela, you nailed it. Codependency. Yeah, it's a scary thing. I was a CNA for 22 years, Eddie says, and just no better than what they're trying to sell us, for sure. What's a CNA, Eddie? What's a CNA? You have to tell me what that is. I don't know what that abbreviation stands for. Sharon, that's what the government wants. Yep. And I'm blown away at the blind people. You guys have all seen it, the sheep. I mean, but that's what it is. It's like just herds of them following, no questions. Don't ask any questions. Don't dare to be different. Funded me to move to the farm and go to college. That's awesome, Eddie. Well, and now you've got yourself a little farm. So Valerie, preach it, girl. Sorry. Joe's like my human diary. I joke all the time. He's such a quiet guy, and you guys know I talk. I talk a lot, but I'm like, he just listens, and I don't know sometimes if he's really listening, but I feel like he's listening. Stop. But yeah, these things get me heated. You guys, that's why I'm a homeschooling mom. I'll be damned if my kid's going to be in public school right now. Well, don't even get me started on that trail. I mean, it is just asinine. And I'm at the point where when I first started homeschooling, I actually lost some friends over this because their kids are in public school. But when I first started homeschooling, I would tiptoe around it because I never wanted people to feel like I thought I was better because my kids were homeschooled. It's not about that, especially in this day and age. I would tell you, get your kids out of public school. Period. Like, just get them out. It's going to burn. Like I said, principles are just principles unless they burn a little. It's going to burn. It's going to hurt. It's going to require sacrifice. You might have to get a smaller house with a smaller mortgage. You might have to give up one of the vehicles. You might have to stop getting your nails done. Whatever it takes. Aren't your kids worth it? I mean, we gave up a lot when I got out of the military. That dual income. I mean, that big house I was telling you guys about, like I have never regretted it one time. And I'll tell you guys, I pulled Parker out of the public school system before this crap started happening. It was right when they started all the whole sharing bathrooms with the transgender crap started with Obama. Obama? Yeah.
I think so.
That was like right when that started. And I'm telling you guys, something in my spirit was not feeling right. I was like, Parker did kindergarten in public school and I yanked him out. He's been homeschooled ever since. And I thank God every day that we made that decision, because look now, look at what's going on. They're telling your children that their gender is just fluid, that they can choose any day what they want to be. You guys know that's not true. You're either a male or you're a female. That's what God says. And if you're listening to this and you're not a Christian or you don't believe in that, then I'm sorry. This probably isn't the live for you, because that is what we believe. My 8-year-old son will tell you, well, if they're confused, why don't they just look in their pants? I mean, duh, it's not that hard. This sex ed curriculum, they're teaching our first graders how to self-please and masturbate. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. See, Angela or Valerie, whichever one of you said preach it. I just get so heated. I know. Jason says, makes my blood boil. All right. I'm not the only one. I feel better. Where I live, people are sitting on the porch and going to the casino while I'm heading to work. Oh my gosh. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. It's just like this whole generation of people that don't know how to work, don't want to work. And like I said, why should they? You know, they're getting handouts. Why not? Eddie, certified nursing assistant. Okay, CNA. I didn't know that. That's awesome. So you've got some knowledge in there too with all the medical stuff. That's cool. Life with Ashley and Noah. Woo woo. Hey girl. It's Ashley and Noah. Ashley and I have been tag teaming each other with, well, Ashley, I hope it's okay that I share this, but we've been tag teaming each other with like texting each other pictures of, you know, just our preparedness, just kind of stocking up on the things, you know, baking powder, baking soda, salt, sugar, things that you need to preserve. You know, you can never be too prepared, you guys. Even if things don't get crazy, there could be a natural disaster, right? So you can never be too prepared. So it's really been fun having a girlfriend that shares those same principles and morals and values. And we've never met. We met each other on Facebook. So that's just hilarious. I just adore her. Bible values. Yes, Valerie, for sure. Stand on the word, and the word is God. The B-I-B-L-E Bible.
Idiot.
You guys remember that song? Oh, if you're not in your word, get in it, you guys. And the struggle is real. I was telling Joe yesterday, every single day is a struggle for me. You guys see my videos and I'm reading my Bible. That I am ashamed to say that doesn't come easily. I wish it did, but it doesn't. And I hope you guys can understand and relate where I'm coming from. I love the Lord, but I constantly have to pray for him to give me that desire and that want to be in his word and spend time with him, because we're so distracted with the world. And that's what Satan wants. Satan just wants you to sit on this thing all freaking day long. Ignore your spouse, ignore your children. It's a trap. That's all it is. Yeah, Ashley, she says, yes, we love homeschooling. Ashley, you guys have 6 kids, right? So talk about homeschooling mama on like 100. Ashley got it going on. Angela, the school menu is enough to convince most folks their kids need better. Too much sugar and other junk. Yeah, for sure. However, I do miss those chocolate cakes with the white frosting. Those are so good. I used to trade people my French fries if they gave me their cake. Ashley, one mom got a letter from school board saying their young child would be learning about anal stimulation. Nope, not going to happen. that just made me swallow. Like, I cannot, I really cannot. I'm about to do a podcast kind of on that topic of like, when is the right time to talk to your kids about those things? Because let's face it, you guys, like their bodies are changing. They're going to feel things they never felt before. But they need to learn from us God's design for sex, and they need to learn from us God's design for a man's body and a woman's body. And when is sex appropriate? How is sex appropriate? Like, I need my child to learn that from me versus the public school system. Why in the world would Parker at 8 years old need to learn about that? Oh my gosh, he doesn't even know what that is. Are you kidding me? No. It's sexual indoctrination. It is just, it's rampant right now, and it's terrifying. So, goodness gracious. Jason, Ashley, that is ridiculous and absurd. So disgusting. It makes my blood boil. Like you said, Jason, it's absolutely disgusting. Maybe ask the folks if they want to get some more info on homeschooling. You could tell them some options. I don't know. Ashley says, true, we are spending so much time on screens. Guilty here. We all are, sister. Ashley's 5 kids. Okay, I thought it was 6. 5 kids. Still, that's a big troop. Joe's like, hell no. Yeah, okay, so homeschooling. Maybe there's somebody out there listening that you know what's going on. Something's not feeling right in your mama heart, but you don't know what to do. Maybe your circumstances, you're feeling like, how could I ever homeschool? You guys, you can homeschool your kids. We are trained to think that schooling has to be 8 hours a day sitting in a freaking brick building. Like, that is not school. You check that, babe. Miss Parker. That is not school. I school Parker in about 2 to 3 hours a day, depending on what we're doing. We do math, language arts, reading every single day. Those are the 3 things we do every day. And, you know, in language arts, you've got all your grammar, you've got your writing, all that good stuff. And then like twice a week, we sprinkle in science and history. We don't do science and history every day. But I know people that still work full-time, single moms that are like, I school my kids in the evening and on the weekends, you know, an hour every night, 2 or 3 hours on the weekend. Like, where there's a will, there's a way. If you guys don't know, you can check out the HSLDA's website, Homeschool Legal Defense Association. So they're the ones that go to bat for us with the legislature and all of the homeschool laws. Go to that website. I will go back. I will try to remember to go back and link that here in this video. Is he good?
See you in a minute.
Okay. But you can go on there and get all kinds of information. You can look up state-specific requirements because every state is different. You can homeschool in every state in our country as of right now. Not doubting that at some point here in the near future with the liberals and the Dems, that might come up on the chopping block. And I'll tell you what, they're going to have their hands full if that's on their agenda. But you can go to that website, click on your state. It'll tell you all the requirements for your state, what you need to do to pull your kids out, to notify the school board. And you guys remember, you do not need their permission. Those are your children. Those are your children given to you by God. You don't need their permission to pull your kids out. You do need to do some things, though. In some states like mine, you have to give a notice of intent. You've got to provide a list of the curriculum you're going to do, yada, yada. But check out that website, and it'll give you some good information on if you're considering homeschooling. And there's so many different curriculums out there. You guys, don't get overwhelmed. You guys can always message me.
I'm struggling right now with getting my stuff home.
You can always message me, and you guys can email me too at blessedandbeautifulhomestead@gmail.com, and we can have a private conversation there. I always get back to people. I think you all know that. So please, if you have questions, just hit me up. Ashley says we've never regretted it. We'll never go back to public school. School system failed me and my siblings, my husband, etc. Failed us in so many ways. Bullying, bad grades, teachers shaming us for asking questions. Oh my goodness, Ashley. Valerie, apologies, have to go to work. Have a great night. Bye, Valerie. I appreciate you, girl, for being here. I really do. Thank you so much. Fowler Family Farms in the house. Woo woo. Hey, y'all. Good evening. Sorry I'm late. Look who's here. Joe joined us tonight. He surprised me and busted through the door. Angela, Virginia is way too regulated. Alaska's easier to homeschool, right? Yes. There are no homeschool laws in Alaska as of right now. None. Absolutely none. I don't know if it's because Alaska is so vast and so big, and you have a lot of the natives up there that don't send their kids to school. They homeschool them. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but if you go on HSLDA's website and look at Alaska, it literally says there's no requirements. You just have to be like the owner of that child. Like you have to be the guardian. That kid had to be yours, whatever. You don't have to do notice of intent. You don't have to do anything. No yearly assessments, nothing like that. So we have all that here in Virginia, and I've had to jump through those hoops and, do whatever to make it happen. But I'm excited about going to Alaska and having that freedom. Don't hit the light.
Sure, nobody.
Yeah. Parker's home. He
Your
was
shirt
at the
on.
neighbor's swimming.
Your shirt on.
No.
And then come get it.
Yeah, don't, because you're going to knock the light over. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see. So we're about at an hour, you guys. I think that I went through, I think I had a couple more questions, but let me just check. Somebody had asked me about the cow shares for fresh raw milk that I shared in my beef video. And you guys can just Google in your local area. And I don't know about where you're at, but where I'm at here in Virginia, we have a lot of farmers, local farmers that do the cow share. And for those of you that don't know what that is in a lot of states, it's actually illegal to sell raw, fresh cow's milk. Crazy, right? Talk about the government regulating everything. So you can go buy cigarettes and alcohol and all these other things, but you can't drink milk from a cow without pasteurizing it and doing all this stuff. No, it's big farm, big industries that are just wanting everything for themselves, and they're just greedy. So if you go, the cow share, basically for the states where it's illegal, you own a share of the cow and you do an agreement with the farmer. And because you own a share of the cow, you can partake in that cow's milk because it's partially your cow, but you don't take care of it. You don't feed it. You don't milk it. The farmer does that. And you just go once a week and pick up your share of milk, which is awesome. Makes it easy. Let's see. So when is retirement coming? 1 year. 1 year. Right, Joe? It's coming up quick, you guys, really quick. It's kind of hard to believe because we joined the military so young. Like, I was 19 when I went in, and you were 18, right, Joe? 19?
Yep, 19.
19, yeah. So we've spent our whole lives in the military. So we're
I didn't
young.
say
Someone
that.
was like, oh, you're retiring?
I
What
didn't
are
say
you,
that.
40? Actually, yeah, we're like, I'm 39. Joe's 42. So,
Yeah, just come right
but
here.
that's because we joined so young. That's the only reason
Say
we're
hi,
retiring so soon.
Hi.
Oh, there's Parker. You were out in the sun all day today, huh, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
See, you can't really tell because we just had to shave his head because somebody cut his hair. The salon cut his hair and it was completely crooked and just straight across. We were telling him he looked like Lloyd off of Dumb and Dumber. But he's getting that strawberry blonde hair too. So, yeah. Let's see here.
I've got water in my ear.
Cass
Yeah.
says, blessings
Yeah, I
from
got
our
the
family.
worst part right
We
now.
have so much going on in this times of how much everything around us influences our
Right.
kids and therefore less of us. Research float tank, I really recommend. So worth it. Float tank for what? I don't know what you mean there, Cass. Tell me. I want to know. Eddie says, about to start chores again for me. Okay, Eddie. I know I got to get out there and feed the pigs before it gets too dark myself. I am so glad you're here, Eddie. Thank you for joining me tonight. For joining us, I should say. Jason says, hi, Parker.
Hi, Jason.
Jason's our friend. He's a beekeeper. Didn't the guy spend time in prison for collecting rainwater? Oh my gosh, Eddie, I wouldn't freaking doubt it. There are cities like these ordinances that regulate that stuff. I'm like, come on now. Albera, hello from Rose from Columbus, Texas. Albera, I hope I'm saying your name right. I thought you were going to be on here tonight. You told me you don't like these live streams. I'm so glad you decided to join us. We are going to be wrapping up soon just because we've already been here for an hour, and I don't like to keep you guys too long. I know you guys got families and farm chores and all that good stuff, but I'm so glad you came on. Thank you. Yes, Eddie, anytime. You could be a million other places on a Friday night and you're here hanging out with us, so I appreciate it. Let's see. I think that is about it for questions. I want to give a quick shout out to one of our subscribers, and I call him my friend now, Scott Kern. If you're on here, Scott, whoop, whoop, hey. So Scott has been messaging me constantly in a good way for like a month or so, maybe a little bit longer. He built a hoop house, you guys, just like ours. And he emailed me photos, and he even took a video of his hoop house. It's almost done. It might even be done by now, but it's so cute. It's like a little mini hoop house. And it was just cool to see the framing and the way he did his window and everything. So I'm so glad that we could help somebody. That is really cool. So Scott, thanks for being our friend, and thanks for sharing your photos and video. That is super cool. I appreciate the friendship. Albera says, no, I don't, but I just saw you still on, just popping in. Well, I'm so grateful. They posted on my reminder of the live stream, and they're like, I hope I don't offend you, but I really don't do the live streams. And I was like, that's okay, no problem. I just like to connect with you guys live. You know, you guys watch the videos. We always connect in the comments, but it's really cool to connect here live with you guys in chat. I really love that. And I'm so glad you're here. Cass from Google Pants in isolation. Tank, sensory deprivation tank, float pod, float cabin. Oh goodness. Flotation tank or sensory tank is a pitch black, light-proof, soundproof environment. They're laughing. Heated to the same temperature as the skin, flotation tanks are widely advertised as a form of alternative medicine. That's interesting. Is it like detoxing? I've never heard of that. I don't know. So I think that was all of the questions that I had got. It's funny talking about farm sitters. We're actually looking for somebody to watch over the farm. We're going to Arizona. All of Joe's side of the family lives in Arizona, and it's been quite a while since we got back there as a family to see them. So he got to see them a couple months ago. You guys remember he got deployed to the border wall. Thanks, Biden, to help out with that. But we haven't been back, like me and the kids and stuff. So we're going to go for a week to Arizona. I always have anxiety about it with like this day and age. And this is the first time, you guys, that I bought insurance for our plane tickets. I'm like, you know, the airlines seem to be the first ones that fall into the wokeism. It's like, you know, you can eat in the restaurant right outside your gate without the mask on, but when you get on the plane, you've got to wear the mask the whole time. I don't know. None of it makes sense to me. But now with the big talk of mandating the V, which we will not be getting, I'm like, what if they implement that right before our trip? I don't want to lose all the money on our plane tickets, and we won't be going if that's the case. So I made sure to get insurance on the plane tickets. Bye, Tina. Nice to meet you, Joe. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Thanks, Jason. Same to you, my friend. It's so good to see you, or read your messages, I should say. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I guess.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Oh, look, he talked just for you, Jason. And you guys, I didn't back talk to Joe, just making you aware. I whacked myself in the face with a pair of needle nose pliers. If you guys are on my Instagram, you saw my story. I have it pretty well covered up with makeup, but we were working on the Polaris, and he asked me to give him the pliers, and I was like, oh, you want it? She
said no, so.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. You guys know better than that. I think Joe's got his hands full, but I was teasing him and kind of dangling him, and he's pulling the pliers. I'm pulling the pliers, and he let go. Like, it all happened so fast, and it was like, whack, hit me right in the face. And I started bleeding, and I've got a big black eye, but maybe I should be in Hollywood because I covered it up pretty good. So anyway, all right, you guys. Well, as usual, thank you for joining me tonight for our Homestead Hangout. This was really fun. I had a lot of you guys on here, lots of conversation. And I'm really happy you came, Joe. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I didn't miss any comments. So I was trying to keep track of everything. Finally got the internet figured out so I can actually read your comments on the laptop. Last Homestead Hangout was awful. I had to do it on my phone. I couldn't see what you guys were saying to me. So anyway, I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. And remember, in these crazy times when all of our anxiety is running high and it seems like we're living on another planet, that you are not alone. So you've got friends here in some part of the country that are just like you. And we've got to stay strong with each other. And remember, principles are just principles unless it burns a little, right? So don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in. It's not going to be easy. Bye, Sharon. You have a good weekend too, my friend.
See ya.
All right, you guys, look for that HSLDA web link down in the description for those of you looking to homeschool. And again, if you guys want to chat with me one-on-one privately, email me anytime at blessedandbeautifulhomestead@gmail.com. All right, take care. Maybe. Yes, and